When you go pick up a clean trailer, do you know what to look for when you go look at your valves? Do you know how to take apart your external valve and make sure your external valve is clean and make sure it's inside? If you don't, stay tuned. I'm going to show you. Welcome back, y'all. Welcome back to another episode of Tourette. Y'all, before this video gets started, I want y'all to hit the like button, hit the subscribe button if you're not already subscribed, share my video. Then if you don't like it, just freaking unshare and unsubscribe. I don't care. But we need to get the videos out. We need some interaction. So the more you leave comments, the more you hit the like button, the more you share, the more chances my video will actually get out there, because you know the YouTube algorithm, it looks for interaction. If nobody's interacting with the video, no one's ever going to see it. I'm just saying. I ain't saying, I'm just saying. Okay, y'all, let's get into the topic of this discussion. We're going to talk about the external valves. Now, my last video or a previous video, I showed you about how to tell if your internal valve's open. Now we're going to show you what the external valve's like, because some of you new drivers, y'all may deal with the external valve all the time, but you don't. But have you ever taken it apart to find out if it's actually clean? Do you know some of the things about it? Well, we're going to show you right here on this trailer. It's an empty, clean trailer. So we're going to take it apart. We're going to show it to you. Here we go. All right, everybody. This is your external valve. Most things, you know, when you pick up a trailer, if you pick it up at a tank wash, generally it's always going to be open. The cap will be off so that it can air dry. Now this, your jam nut right here, see, that was real loose. I just barely gave it a twist and it's loose. Now inside you have this ring right here, and inside here is rope packing. Now the packing of this keeps the product from coming back out, because it'll be packing, because you got the shaft right here, so there's packing that goes around this shaft inside the cylinder, because you know, as this goes in, this comes out. Well, you've got to have some movement in between. Well, you can't have your product flowing out, so you've got packing that's inside there. And as you tighten this down, well, of course the inside of this flange is just barely across here, so it pushes this and compresses this. See if we can get it to focus. Okay, it'll compress this in there, which that compresses the rope packing and squishes the packing down tight against the shaft. That way the product doesn't leak out, because you know, as you can see, you know, you got a hole right here. So when you get a trailer, always tighten this down and give it a good hand tight and make sure it's tight and so forth. Now this ring, this is the outer ring that holds your internal valve in place. This should always be tight now. See, like, look, I'm just barely giving it any kind of thing, and it's turning. That should not be loose like that. But what we're going to do, we're going to loosen this all the way and then just kick it back a little bit. Now we're going to take this ring off, loosen this several turns until you feel it loose. Then you just pick up on it, pull it over, and you can pull this off. This whole ring comes out. It's almost like handcuffs. It's basically like handcuffs. Okay, we'll set this to the side. This is your external valve, y'all. Here we are. You have a cotter pin. Make sure there's a cotter pin in this, because this nut right here is what holds this plunger. So as you tighten this valve, this pushes this rod up in here like this and pushes this plunger up. So that plunger comes up and will seat right up inside that lip right there. So as you unscrew it, or as you loosen the plunger, the handle, well, that plunger comes out, it unseats from inside there, and that allows the product to come in here, and that flows in right down into this valve right there. So now you can see the daylight through there. There you go. Yeah, you can see something like, here we go, let's see. But always make sure this is a good seal. See, and it's actually kind of a little bit dirty, has it? Not the best cleaning, but see, make sure that gasket is always a good gasket, because this lip right here seats down in this. This Teflon gasket right here is what seats on that and keeps your product from coming out and into the valve. Okay, so now when you go to put this back together, like I say, if you hold this here, you can see as I spin and turning the handle, you see that plunger is going further and further in on those threads right there. So when you go to put this back in, you always make sure that it's all the way open. Make sure this handle's all the way open. That way it's not putting pressure against there. So you seat this back in, make it nice and tight fit. Put the ring on. And you can see this ring. We'll show you here first. Let's show you this. All right, and on the ring, you can see this ring is grooved. So this groove fits down, of course, this is only half. So you can see it's got wiggle room. Because it's half, it's big enough to fit this lip in the lip on your valve. So you put your valve in. That fits in nice and tight. Make sure that's on there good. You close the ring. Come on, get on there. There we go. Close this back. Put that on. And generally we always like spin them up like this and try to have them somewhat up or down. Because a lot of times they rest the cap and the hose around this here. Now you tighten this ring and that'll tighten all the way around here until it's good. And like I say, you always want to make sure you tighten this as tight as you can get, because if this is loose, your product will come in between those seals and will come out and you'll have a leak. So always make sure, then you can go ahead and tighten this down. I see a lot of times, not all of them have cable, some will have the ring on here, and they'll hang the cap just like that on the ring right there. Almost like this right here, but that's not long enough reach. But yeah, if not, sometimes they'll hang it just like that. All right, y'all, I hope y'all enjoyed this short little tutorial. Like I say, it's just a short tutorial trying to give you a little bit of information on things to look for. Like I say, my video it started out with just Tourette's so I can see how much, but it's become also a teaching channel where I show you, like when I've done customization to work to my trucks. And then also on tanking right here, I try to show y'all some stuff on the tanking. So here's one of our trailers right over here, dirty. So I try to give y'all some information, try to teach y'all something. So hopefully you got something out of it. Like I say, y'all, make sure y'all hit the like, subscribe, and share, and we'll catch you on this video, y'all. Peace out.
Even when you feel low, you can still go. Even when you feel slow, you can still go. Even when there's no hope, you can still go. I never answer to no, man, I still go. Go, 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 go.